So that's definitely an issue of concern. And additionally, long-term use of steroids, has other side effects that are well documented. They'll increase your risk of osteoporosis. They can lead to an increased risk of cataracts,
That's
and
right.
then cause a disruption of your normal hormone balance because it's ultimately a steroid. So there's there. I only like to use them in life-threatening situations almost, and with great caution. I mean, they're very potent medications, and
Right, right. Well, it's like my lady here, Sandra. She has asthma, and she started having a series of attacks. We don't know what she's sensitive to. So I took her down to the doctor. The doctor put her on, prednisone by oral, and also
an inhaler with it, a steroid,
uh,
probably.
but I like the doctor. He says, no, I don't want you to use this more than 2 weeks. I'm going to give you 10 days.
Sure, sure.
Okay. Wow. And I said, why? And he said, because it can create other problems more than 10 days. And so the doctor and I had a discussion about aspergillosis and things of this nature, and he recognizes this. So therefore, and then I made sure that as soon as her inflammation got down to where she could breathe normally, we got her off the steroids immediately. And
Sure.
she's doing very well today. All we need to do is knock down that initial inflammation that was causing her to be reactive.
Hmm.
Okay, and so
They do have their purpose, but they need to be used in exercise with great caution. So, thank you for bringing that to our attention.
yeah, well, the other individual I respect a lot along this line is Dr. Michael Gray, who's down in Arizona, south of Tucson. And I've talked with Michael about his treatment on these conditions. He said, yes, I give him a short course. I said, what's your short course? He said, 4 or 5 days, no more.
Sure. Is he another mold expert? I think you mentioned him earlier.
Yes, he is.
Okay. Are there others that you have respect for in the field that you find
Uh,
share your views?
yeah, Michael Gray down in Arizona. There's Richie Shoemaker in Maryland. Then there's another one down here in Southern California, Janet Hope. She's in Santa Barbara. There are a few physicians around the country. Those are the ones that come to mind that whom I respect most in this field, who recognize that there is a serious health problem.
Great. Well,
I have published both with Dr. Gray and with Dr. Shoemaker.
excellent. So I really thank you for all the work you've done in helping educate us about this really important topic that can have such a dramatic influence on our health. And most of the time, it sounds like over 90% of the time, we're not even aware that it has this negative impact.
That is very correct. That is very correct. And, and the other thing is that be cautious of your doctor. Like I mentioned earlier, this woman with her pediatrician who accused her of abusing her child. Some doctors just do not understand, nor have they read the medical and scientific literature on the subject matter, so therefore they don't know.
Sure.
Okay, and I don't know what it is about physicians, Dr. McCullough. I hope you're not this way. Is, is if you're ignorant of the subject, admit it.
No, that's a model I've tried for a long time. And then even when you're find out later that your original position wasn't correct, that you apologize and then change your position rather than trying to defend an old position. That
That is,
isn't not
that is
truthful.
that is correct. I recommend that your colleagues in the field get up to date. For example, there's a recent paper, and it's on my website, and it's a meta-analysis done by Dr. Fisk at the Livermore, University of California, Livermore, California,
Hmm.
And what he did was look at the issue about dampness and respiratory infections, and looked at children, and he searched the entire literature, and he's come up with a very nice piece of research that shows that these indoor environments lead to respiratory conditions in children. There's no doubt with the risk values that he found. They're highly significant at the 95% confidence interval. That's the first meta-analysis of the entire literature on this subject matter. It's on my website, and
Great.
it's to the population. All they have to do is go to my website, click on the link, and the paper will open for them.
Great. Well, thank you for providing that resource. All right. Any other parting words of wisdom, Dr. Thrasher?
wish I had all the answers, but I don't.
Okay. Well, it's like, life is like that. It's a journey, and we learn as we go along, and we update our concepts, and we learn new information, and we do the best we can.
Yeah.
But you've really helped a large number of people understand that this is a significant issue. That there's perhaps even more important, there's some very simple steps that you can take to prevent a problem or certainly treat it, and it doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg to address this serious health issue.
Yeah, right. Well, you go to the Bible, Leviticus in the Bible, clear 4,000 years ago,
Mhm.
described this problem in homes. If it was there 4,000 years ago, it's still here. Okay,
Sure,
right?
little persistent buggers, that's for sure, and you got to pay attention to it. All right. Well, again, I thank you for your time, for all your information, and helping us understand the importance of this issue.
Yeah, well, tell your population I'll be very happy. If they want to, they can go to my website. I have my email address on there. If they want to write me and ask me a question, I'll be very happy to answer them.
Well, you may want to be cautious of that. I mean, we have several million readers, so I mean, you might have like tens of thousands of emails.
I know that, but I for them all. Right now, I'm looking at my list here, and there's something like 40 or 50 on here because I get questions from all over the world.
All
Okay.
right. Well, great. Well, that's if you're willing to provide that service, that's wonderful. So, our listeners will certainly take advantage of that.
And if they want to know the name of a doctor, I generally will. I'll send them a list of several doctors that they can attempt to see. Try to get them close to where they live, but sometimes that's not possible to do. Okay.
Sounds good. Well, thank you, Dr. Thrasher, and really appreciate it.